A pleasant morning once again, ladies and gentlemen, and we shall now hear the statement of the Chief of the Philippine National Police, Police General Archie Francisco F. Gamboa.
Mic test. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us today as we announce a string of major victories against illegal drugs during the first week of police operations under the General Community Quarantine or GCQ. The PNP is honored by the presence of Secretary Catalino Coy, Chairman of the Dangerous Drugs Board, sir, and Undersecretary Wilkins Villanueva, the Director General of the Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency, and Undersecretary Earl Saavedra of the Department of Interior and Local Government. Of the DDB pala, sorry, of the DDB. And of course, we have here the Regional Director of NCRPO and other officers. We are presenting to you part of the 890 kilograms of crystal meth or shabu, estimated to be worth more than 6 billion that were confiscated by the PNP Drug Enforcement Group in 2 separate operations, or in 25 separate operations. On 2 separate operations conducted between January 1, ano ba to? Okay, repeat. Tama pala. 890 kilograms of crystal meth or shabu estimated to be worth more than 6 billion that were confiscated by the PNP Drug Enforcement Group in 25 separate operations conducted between January 1 and June 4, 2020 that also resulted to the arrest of 38 suspects and the death of 6 other confirmed drug personalities. I would like to point out that 93% of the confiscated shabu since January was the result of 4 days of operations on June 1 to 4, particularly in the raid conducted on a shabu warehouse in Bulacan. Added to this is the operation by BIDEG last Saturday in Parañaque City that resulted to the recovery of 36 kilograms of shabu amounting to 244.8 million. During the 75-day ECQ period, similarly aggressive anti-illegal drugs operations were carried out elsewhere across the country against marijuana farms in Cebu and Kalinga provinces, where troops destroyed 9,000 fully grown marijuana plants. I am proud to note that the police regional offices and national operational support units managed to sustain anti-illegal drugs and anti-criminality operations without let-up during the entire ECQ period and vigorously pushed onwards through the opening days of the MGCQ and GCQ, even as these units continue to follow strict public safety standards as per IATF rules and regulations. Over the weekend on Saturday, Chinese suspects Yang Jun and Wu Zizhan, believed behind the kidnapping of 3 of his fellow Chinese, were arrested in Pasay City in a continuing operation launched by the anti-kidnapping group that stemmed from a complaint by 3 Chinese kidnapped victims who were rescued in Angeles City on June 1. During the ECQ period, we observed receding patterns of traditional crime trends that saw the crime volume dipping to unprecedented levels. But what is more encouraging is the continued slump in crime trends through the opening days of MGCQ and GCQ under the new normal. Overall, it is notable that peace and order index crimes went down by 483 or 17.24%. From 2,801 during the pre-GCQ period compared to only 2,318 incidents during GCQ. Peace and Order Index in June 1 to 5 comprised largely of non-index crimes with 1,986 incidents or 85.68% and index crimes with 332 incidents or 14.32%. Peace and Order Index generally went down in Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao by 12.26, 25.14, and 25.23% respectively. Overall, focus crimes went down by 86 or 20.57 from 418 during the last week of ECQ period to only 332 incidents in the first working week of MGCQ-GCQ. What do all these numbers tell us? Despite the decline in crime volumes, your Philippine National Police remains steadfast in fighting the bigger war on illegal drugs. The combined yield of the two recent raids amounts to more than 6 billion pesos. This is unprecedented in the last 5 years, a milestone that the PNP is proud to have achieved in the midst of challenging times. We thank President Rodrigo Roa Duterte for his continued support, our partners here from the PDEA and the Dangerous Drugs Board for working closely with us, and our police frontliners for their sacrifice in the fight against criminality and COVID-19. Maraming salamat po. Now we're ready for questions from the media.
Thank you, sir. And we will... And after the photo op, sir, ma'am, we will be having the first round of questions. This will be about the anti-illegal drugs accomplishment. Other matters will be entertained later. Thank you very much, sir.
Lakad?
Cutting, sir. Cutting, sir. Sir. Hi.
May kulang.
Hey, sir.
Tapos yung ano, yung 36 sir. Nandito may 36. Ah, wala pa. Plus 36. 804.
So we will now entertain questions from our friends from the media, and the first question will be coming from Leia Ilaga of UNTV.
Morning, morning, sir. Sir, ano po ang koneksyon nitong nahuli itong nakumpiska sa Bulacan, sa Marilao, Bulacan, doon sa operation ng PNP DEG sa Macapagal, Parañaque noong Sabado?
Yung operation sa Bulacan, no? So na-confiscate ito, and then there was a follow-up operation sa Turmade. Kaya nangyari yung sa Parañaque. So kung makita natin yung packaging ng Parañaque and this one are almost the same. And one of the persons killed in Parañaque is Kai also. The relationship with yung kanyang father yung nahuli doon sa Bulacan, yung anak naman doon sa Caloocan. Kaya pareho yung apelyido nilang Kai.
Sir, yung dalawang babae doon sa Bulacan, sir, meron na ba tayong background kung taga saan sila?
Sige.
Sir.
The two other suspects that were arrested in Marilao, Bulacan, yung dalawang babae, one of them is the live-in partner of Yuwin Kai, while the other suspect is the sister of that the live-in partner of Yuwin Kai. They are from Tondo, Metro Manila.
Thank you, sir. Sir, alam na ba natin kung anong source o saang bansa nanggaling itong mga drugs na ito?
We still have to find out, no? Unless Wilkins from the packaging alone siguro.
As far as the source of drugs, we still have to conduct the profiling, and we'll coordinate with the counterpart, foreign counterpart, kung hanapin natin yung same profile. So it really is important na makakuha kami talaga ng profile ng dangerous drugs para na maipakita ng yung makapag-order ng court for us to conduct profiling. Kung matatandaan nyo, nung December last year, same packaging yung biscuit na nakuha natin sa Shenak, Quezon City. Gusto na, yun nga, may profile na kaming nakuha doon, so titingnan natin kung anong profile naman itong bagong drugs na nakuha. So that we will know anong bansa nanggagaling itong mga ito.
Hey, Chief PNP po. Sir, ano pong ikinaso doon sa mga nahuling suspect doon sa Marilao, Bulacan?
Kasi it's a result of buy bust. So buy bust and then a possession, no? But alam natin that even mere possession more than 50 grams is already non-bailable, no? And is punishable by reclusion perpetua. So there's more, we have more than enough to convict them.
Third.
Sir, kay General Karanat. Sir, pwede pa kwento lang, sir, yung nangyaring buy bust, gaano katagal ang naging surveillance nito? Sino yung naka-transaction, sir, nung pusher buyer natin, sir?
Okay, I'd like to
Sorry.
interfere, no?
Yes, sir.
Let's not talk of operational details, no? Because it's a craft that should be kept secret by the PNP, no? Anyway, if you really want to know the details of this, you can extract it from the court presentation probably. But we are not supposed to divulge the details of the operation. Generally, parang nagkaroon lang siya ng surveillance, no? Sinabi ko naman ito, na 4 months, and then bakit silang sa surveillance? Because we have a list of all those who are linked to illegal drugs. And then kung merong magagandang lead, then that's the time we conduct surveillance. And then, if the right time comes, then we do the buy bust, no? for test buy, etc. There are a lot of ways you can apply for a search warrant. There are a lot of ways to actually apprehend them. No, but this one resulted to a bypass operation which led to the confiscation of these illegal drugs.
Sir, is it possible na ito sobrang laking drug hole nito? Posible ba na ibiyahe ito during the ECQ? Na medyo nag-relax tayo ng pagpapabiyahe ng mga deliveries. Posible ba yung mga ganitong kalaki na ibiyahe during that time, sir?
Of course, lahat naman ng venues of pagpasok ay ginagawa talaga ng sindikato. So particularly, itong result ng COVID situation, hindi sa nagre-relax ang ating mga law enforcement, but ito talaga yung kahit may COVID o wala, talagang papasukin at papasukin pa rin tayo. That is why, as I have said, doon talaga tayo papasok sa source, doon tayo titira sa source of drugs para hindi na talaga umabot sa ilalim. So we are prepared na to conduct intervention dito sa mga ganitong klaseng drug distribution.
Pero sir, mas nadalian kaya sila na ipasok itong mga to noong ECQ?
Yan yung part of backtracking investigation natin na gagawin dun kay Mr. Luwinkay. Yan yung isa sa mga dapat na makuha natin sa kanya na information.
Okay. Next question, Patricia. You have, mamaya na tayo sa other man. Yes, Chino.
Morning, sir. May indication ba whether dito gawa ito or galing sa labas since we're talking about yung source in the first place, sir? So,
on the part of the PNP, kasi parang convinced kami na wala nang crime laboratory dito sa Pilipinas, no? Meron tayo yung sinasabi nating kitchen laboratory which can actually produce, 5 to 7 kilos in a week. So pag ganito, kalaki, at kung yun ang gagawin nila, baka ilang kitchen lab ito, at kung gaano katagal, no? You can just imagine. So with the amount now confiscated, there's a big possibility na importation ito. It's an importation.
Next question, sir.
Sir, good morning. Sir, yung Department of Justice, tinap na nila yung Cybercrime Division nila to investigate yung pagkalat ng mga fake accounts sa
Mark,
Facebook.
we'll have the other questions mamaya.
I'm sorry.
We'll concentrate first on the drug accomplishment.
Okay.
Alfred.
Reminding, we have here from the dangerous drug boards on terms of policies, strategies, they can very well answer these things. Thank you.
Morning, sir. Congratulations po. Sir, apparently, na-surpass nyo na yung drug accomplishments ng government from 2016 to 2019 dun sa mga nagawa po ng PNP and PDEA since October last year to date with these accomplishments. May we know from dun sa mga nag-operate po, sir, anong formula bakit nangyayari po yung ganitong very big accomplishments compared to the past?
Hindi naman natin yan but alam mo, during the time of Chief Bato, malaki din. I think the total number of drugs confiscated for his term is around, if I'm not mistaken, 2,700 kilos plus. No? And then number of operations, marami din. And then during sa time ni Chief Odi, around 1,700 kilos. No? Now we're almost 1,007, 1,006. Hindi natin i-compare, because there might be difference in the situation and on the different trust during the time of the two chief PNPs. So kagaya ni Chief Pato, we saw there kung ano yung aggressiveness ng drugs, ng campaign against illegal drugs, and at the same time kay Chief Oscar Albayalde, ganun din naman, no? Probably ito lang siguro, I don't know, baka naipon or what, no? But we have different strategies followed, no? Siguro sir, on the part of the DDB, they can maybe mention the evolution of the drug strategy that the Philippines is adopting. Sir.
Again, congrats accomplishment, ano. And welcome also to the new Director General of PDEA. Yung tanong kanina, no, na whether this inventory was easier done during the ECQ. I think we believe na during the ECQ medyo nag-standby sila eh. Kasi alam naman natin yung restrictions na implemented by our law enforcer with regards sa movement ng personnel and logistics. More likely, yung mga syndicates na yan are now trying to recover yung mga lost earnings nila during the past 2.5 months of ECQ. Kaya they are trying to catch up with their inventory na ma-dispose nila yan. And our law enforcers are fully aware na itong time na to during the easing up of the restrictions, probably itong mga syndicate nito will step up on their activities. And true enough, itong mga confiscation and arrest and seizures na to are proof na our drug syndicates are resilient with regards to their tactics and method of doing their business. Kaya yung comparison with the other years, depende yan sa situation, and this is part of the law enforcement. But there are other mechanism dun sa ating anti-drug strategy, which is more on the demand reduction. So this is another accomplishment with the supply reduction.
Sir, anong assurance niyo po na yung certainty of punishment dun sa mga personalities behind this major bust? Yung mga nahuli po. Kasi last week, may nahuli po I think ang PDEA, na yung suspect rin po dun sa 2008 kitchen lab sa Binondo, siya rin po yung nahuli more than 12 years after na involved na naman sa big time drug trafficking. Apparently sir, na nakalabas siya dahil sa merong court order. Anong assurance niyo po sa public?
Kami naman sa Philippine National Police, no, that's why when we file the case, dapat technically upright talaga siya, no, because alam naman natin na pagdating sa court trial, marami ang pwedeng mangyari. Now, hindi ako privy doon sa case na yon, but the introduction of ano ba yun? Lower plea bargaining, no? Maybe the provision of plea bargaining could take a role on this, no? Kasi napakarami talaga na because of the plea bargaining, no? Bumababa kasi rather than we have to balance the intention of the court to declog drug cases. So one of which is yung plea bargaining, no? But there are a lot of safety nets that the plea bargaining could only be invoked upon. No? Pero pag ganito, hindi pwedeng plea bargaining ito, no? Because of the bulk ng Kaya nga, one of my trusts when I sat down as officer in charge, sabi ko, as much as possible, if we can confiscate illegal drugs, as much as possible yung more than 50 grams. No? Kasi nga, dahil pag ganon, the possibility of plea bargain is not there, no? Because of the amount confiscated. So these are the things that the executive branch of government cannot be in control of, no? Kasi iba yung judiciary, no? That's why, hopefully, although alam ko na continuing ang study ng legislature to really implement the anti-illegal drugs law, ito yung cycle na kailangan pag-aralan ng buong gobyerno, no? So that hindi madalas executive kaka-implement, then the decisions of the courts, alam natin may mga intention ng judiciary, should also be balanced. At pag hindi ito na balance, then papasok ang legislature. So this is how government works, no? And we actively participate, and hindi naman nagpabaya yung ating legislature na humabol doon kung ano yung demand of times, no? That's why there's always committee hearings. They ask resource persons purposely to address the current situation. But that's how it is, no? So ang sa akin lang naman is what is important is pag nasa executive ka, you do what the most you can do. And then, of course, yung judiciary may responsibility sila, then yung legislature may responsibility din sila over the overall campaign of government on illegal drugs.
Thank you, sir. Sir, kay DG Wilkinson. Sir, na-find out niyo na ba yung background nung bakit nakawala yung nahuli niyo sa isang drug bust na naman? 2008, nahuli rin siya.
Actually, ano pa lang 5 days pa lang ako, 6 days pa lang ako sa trabaho. Pagkatapos, talagang humarap na agad tayo sa ano. So, yung more on administrative management side, medyo pinag-uutos pa lang natin. But ang pagkakaalam namin is sa Court of Appeals, he was found guilty by the court, kaya nga napunta sa New Bilibid Prison noong 2014. However, nagkaroon ng appeal, so it's in the Court of Appeals, kaya siya nawalan sala. That's what we have to find out pa. Give me some time at pag hindi ako masyadong bigyan ng trabaho ni Police Major General Sinas, baka masagot ko kayo. Kaya lang baka this week talagang tatrabaho na naman, kaya expect for more. Ganito lang yon, yung sa tanong kanina. Ito bang droga na ito, ang mga nakukuha natin dito is bulk seizure. Ang dulo nito, immediate, is bodegero. Yung yan sila sila Luwen Kai. We still have to find yung talagang yung puppet master, yung nagpapagalaw sa kanila. Ang problema dito sa nagpapagalaw sa kanila, hindi ito nagbebenta ng droga, hindi ito naglalaglag. It's only calls at utos. So itong puppet master na to, talagang hindi natin makukuha ito unless na yung talagang amendment ng anti-wiretapping bill. Dahil dito natin sila makukuha. Silang nagpapagalaw But expect in the near future na talagang ito ang mga titirahin natin. Not only itong mga bulk, mga bodegero natin, but ito na ang mga puppet masters. At ito, some of them are here in the Philippines while others are nasa labas. So those are the things that you have to expect from PNP and PDEA. So yung sinasabing assurance na wala na makakapasok, papasok yan for as long as yung mga puppet masters ay nasa taas, hindi natin nakukuha.
Thank you, sir.
If I may add doon sa
Secretary
nabanggit ni Chief PNP kanina, doon sa mga mga drug cases na pending in courts, in our dialogue with the judges and the Supreme Court, ang malaki mortality ng cases, only about less than 20% ang conviction rate natin. Basically because of yung violation of the chain of custody. So that's why it's very important for our anti-drug enforcer to properly observe yung ating police operational procedures with regards sa anti-illegal drug operations.
Thank you, sir. Any follow-up questions about the anti-illegal drugs accomplishment? Sir, before we proceed with the second round of questions on other matters. Sir, on other matters, kindly Catalino Escudi of DDD, sir. Thank you for your presence. General Archie Francisco F. Gamboa, together with the Regional Director of NCRPO, Major General Debold Sinas, and of course the Chief PIO, Brigadier General Bernard Pana. So the first question for the second round will be coming from Mark Makalalan.
Morning, ha? Sir, ask ko lang, sir, yung DOJ, tinap na nila yung Cybercrime Division nila para imbestigahan yung pagkalat ng mga fake Facebook account dahil ang pangamba ng ilan baka mag-cause ng harm at magamit sa misinformation. Sa part po ba ng PNP, may directive na po ba tayo sa anti-cybercrime group?
Yes, active naman tayo sa social media monitoring, and anything that are not normal and perceived to be illegal, then ginagawa ng anti-cybercrime group. And we encourage everybody, na kung may nakita kayong medyo anomalous or medyo hindi legal in the different social media platforms, then iparating nyo sa Philippine National Police so that we can investigate it. And we will always be willing to help the public when it comes to cybercrimes.
Sir, ang sabi ng ilan, mayroon daw pattern dahil kadalasan karamihan sa nagkaroon ng fake account, yung vocal na critic ng government, especially dun sa anti-terror bill. May reports din ba na natanggap yung PNP kaugnay sa bagay na yun?
We're still investigating it, kasi hindi naman ganun kabilis yung pag-investigate pagdating sa social media kasi we need the cooperation of the administrators of other platforms. But the PNP is doing its best.
Sir, yung Police Regional Office 13, binatikos sir ng grupong bayan dahil sa pag-post sa Facebook ng larawan na kaugnay sa anti-terror bill. Tinawag po yun ng bayan na unethical tsaka pagiging unprofessional sa part ng PNP. May reaction po ba dito sir yung liderato ng PNP?
We will look into it. Hindi ko pa mismo nakita yung post na sinasabi nyo, but we will look into it. And as a matter of policy, we do not do that, kasi kami nasa gobyerno.
Sa kaling sir, may paglabag doon. Ano yung pwedeng kaharapin po ng post noon? Dahil lang sabi nyo yung policy, hindi po dapat ginagawa yun ng isang pulis.
Actually, meron tayong certain policy on social media, especially yung pagpo-post. I think I just signed it. Although meron na dati, but there's an enhanced protocol on social media that should be observed by the members of the Philippine National Police. And kung lalabag ito doon, then he can be charged administratively. And if evidence would still warrant, even criminal cases, they will face both charges if the evidence so warrants.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Mark. Next question, Judge Shihab. Thank you.
Good morning, sirs. Regarding, sir, sa incident doon sa checkpoint sa Baguio, can you give us, sir, an update on that? Baka lang po maklarify kung ano yung nangyari, actually nangyari po doon at bakit, kung may nalabag bang protocols po. Thank you.
Well, based sa revelation na nakita ko lang din sa post ni Mayor Magalong, ang sabi doon na yung police ang nakiusap or I don't know, parang who facilitated na lumagpas sila sa checkpoint. But we're investigating. As a matter of fact, nakita ko rin, nabasa ko rin that General Magalong is even charging members of the police force. Just to emphasize the point. And ako mismo, I texted him. I personally apologized also if there are actuations of the Philippine National Police that are not or contradictory to their quarantine protocols. And I also instructed the Director for Operations to disseminate that the Philippine National Police, where you are assigned, should always observe the appropriate local protocols. Kasi alam naman natin that the burden of controlling the spread of the virus is upon the shoulders of the local government units. And syempre, yung interest talaga nila is also just to protect their constituents. That's why in-encourage ko lahat ng Philippine National Police in whatever capacity that you may be in. But if you are confronted with local quarantine protocols, then you should abide by it. As a matter of fact, I'm planning to go around the country. Pero ang problema ko, baka ako ang ma-lockdown. That's why in every locality that I go, I require the regional director to coordinate what are the necessary protocols to follow. Una, para makalipat ako ng ibang region, no? And before I will enter a certain region, ano ang protocol or a certain locality. And all the Philippine members of the Philippine National Police should follow, no? Not only encourage, should follow local, especially local quarantine protocols.
Okay, sir, kay General Sinas naman po. Because you relieved 5 San Juan officers sir, just today. Pwede yung karagdagang information, who are these officers, sir? Kasama po ba yung COPs naman?
Thank you. Good morning to all. First, we have relieved the PNCOs ngayon, no, kasi kahapon lang naman sila nag-report galing sa Baguio, pinag-explain na sila. It's the regional IAS ang nautusan. It came from directive from DCA. As to the Chief of Police, di ko pa po siya relieve. I will confer with the Chief PNP kung anong appropriate siya kasi kasama rin po siya sa pinag-explain po ng IAS. As to whether to leave it or not, wala pa kaming recommendations. I will confer muna sa investigators, then I will recommend to the Chief PNP kung ano po ang appropriate.
Sir, Chief PNP, sir. Well, in relation to the possible knowledge or your participation in COP, sir, does that merit relief from his post? Thank you.
Okay. Hindi naman natin kasama si Chief of Police sa convoy. No? So, yung administrative control. Alam mo, ihambing ko lang sa escape of a prisoner. No? Pag naka-escape ang isang prisoner, ang actually decision mo doon sa unit commander is depende, siyempre, hindi naman niya mabantayan lahat ng prisoner. Kaya nga meron siyang nagagwardya sa prisoner. Now, ano usually ang responsibility for causing his relief if he does not take appropriate action? So let's say for example na eskapuhan ka ng preso. Ang immediate na action na dapat gawin mo is first relieve the immediate yung gumagwardya sa preso and then conduct investigation. Now if you don't do that, then it can also be a cause of your relief. So this is how the administrative liability works in the Philippine National Police. So yun, I will not give my decision, no? Because I have to hear anong ginawa niya after that, and then in the course of the investigation, ano ang degree of liability niya.
Kumbaga sir, pagpapaliwanagin niyo muna.
Yes, yes.
Sir, panghuli na, kasi kasama po yata sa gustong kasuhan ni Mayor Magalong si General Cascolan, sir. Hindi namin alam kung ano yung dahilan, bakit siya kasama doon. But can you...
Actually, ang nakalaya doon, he's charging General Cascolan being the administrator of, or being the overseer of the administrative side of COVID Task Force Shield. So, kaya parang doon niya nililink yung responsibility. Kaya damay si General Cascolan, pati yung Chief of Police, I think. No, Santos? By reason of command responsibility. Kasi ang administrative support to COVID Shield is supposed to issue guidelines and protocols, no, on how our men will behave doon sa baba. Anyway, prerogative yon ng complainant, no? Whoever he wants charged, then it's the prerogative of the complainant.
Okay. Plea daw muna, sir. Kuya Alfred and Alfred.
Okay. Sir, update lang po. Update lang po dun sa mga suspect na nahuli sa operasyon ng ANIC at saka mga illegal pogo na empleyado, sir. Ano na po, nakasuhan na po ba? Update, sir. Anong mga ikinasa po ng PNP?
Okay, sa illegal clinic, no, ang CIDG, but we have yet to find out on the status of all. Actually, marami akong gustong ipa-update sa CIDG, yung local officials involved in SAP, yung fake accounts, and then yung confiscation in relation to DTI regulatory function, which includes yung mga overpricing, no, marami tayo ng mga kampanya na yun, and then yung ano yun, yung apprehension on illegal hospital. No, but remember, the Philippine National Police cannot in itself do it alone. No, we have to take the technical expertise of the different concerned departments. Kasi kunwari illegal na hospital, we have to link with the Department of Health. What are the requirements for you to become a legal hospital? So that from there, we can file the appropriate cases. But I assure you that whenever the evidences so warrants, then we will always file a case against these accused, no? Siguro within the week, siguro Bernie, no, let's come up with an update on the files, the cases filed in relation to the quarantine. No? Kasi marami yun, yung minention ko kanina.
Sir, magdadagdag po ba ng tauhan ng PNP sa ground dahil na-lift na yung ECQ, GCQ na po ngayon at mas maraming tao yung nasa mga lansangan, sir?
We leave it up to the commanders. No? Siguro NCRPO can give details on their deployment. Pero generally kasi, pag ikaw ang isang unit commander, you have to manage your mandate in accordance to the resources that you have. Now, unless hindi mo na kaya, let's say for example, wag naman sana, ma-infect lahat ng NCRPO, then that's the only time that the national headquarters will come in. But basically, the regional director is given the leeway on how to deploy the men. At hindi naman kailangan i-direct pa ng national headquarters that you do this, you do that. It's really the call of the regional director to decide. So maybe, if you want to know a detailed deployment, we can ask the RDNCRP on how he does it, or his reaction to that.
Thank you, Leah. As of now, kayang-kaya na po ng mga personnel ng NCRPO yung implementation ng GCQ policies and protocols. Kasi anong nangyari, redirect lang naman namin yung mga personnels namin. At we are still on full alert, so our people are still nandyan pa po sa bawat headquarters, and we are 100% reporting and doing our job. Kumbaga, ni-redirect lang po namin yung focus. Especially na medyo may mga borders, QCP na kami na dinismantle because maapektuhan na sa traffic at wala na masyadong gamit. So nilagay na po namin sila sa mga critical places just like malls, markets, public markets, yung mga places of convergence, at saka sa MRT, LRT, at saka PNRs and buses.
Thank you. Alfred first.
Sir, in addition lang po sa question ni Search, hindi lang po natanong. Sir, di ba mayroon tayong policy na ang mga mayors and mga politicians, ang mag-secure lang sa kanila, mga bodyguards nila na PNP is from the PSPG, not the local police. Yung lumalabas po yung 5 San Juan Police, hanggang Baguio po sir, sinesecure po nila yung mayor. Ano po ang responsibility ng commander po doon, yung immediate commander po nila?
Okay, that's why we deem it necessary for PSPG to secure individuals if there's a permanency on it, no? Kaya pag permanent siya na gwardiya, then kaya PSPG. But dito sa local, we revisit whether they have violated that specific provision. But remember, we are PNP personnel who are national in scope. No? So if they are covered with letter orders issued by, of course, the regional director, then I don't think there's a violation. I don't think there's a violation. Because yun nga, national police kami in nature, and there are certain protocols that should be followed whenever you secure individuals. Pero yung sa PSPG kasi, more on permanent na security yun. Kaya dinadaan namin sa PSPG. Pero pag on a per case to basis, case-to-case basis, then a letter ordered could suffice, no? If there's an importance on securing the VIP for purposes of travel to other places. But proper authority should be issued, no? Which is done usually through letter orders.
Okay, thank you. Patricia.
Sir, Pat po from TV5. Sir, doon naman sa issue on the kamamatay lang po na police medical frontliner natin sa Ultra. Sir, saan niyo po nakikita o sino-sino po yung nakikita niyong posibleng may negligence doon sa decontamination na protocol?
Okay. Yung namatay natin na police, no? Si Police Lieutenant Cassie Gutierrez, ang kanyang wife is a distor, no? So that's why they requested that the NBI investigates it. So we respect. No, but just this morning, I gave a directive to General Cascolan to investigate the administrative flow of these quarantine areas. Let's say, for example, both PICC and Ultra, lahat doon are actually being managed by OCD. No, so it's OCD who will put in their service providers. So sila yung may power to procure kung sinong service providers ilagay nila. No? So that's one. Second, pinag-aralan din namin yung flow ng how are chemicals prepared, from where. No? But as an offshoot, no, kasi nangyari yung kay Lieutenant Gutierrez, yun nga, pure na chemical yung na-spray sa kanya, no? Kaya nalanghap niya yun. At ultimately, he died. And then, there's another incident. Pero hindi pa naman siya conclusive talaga na because of the chemicals again, no? On both incidents, yung mga survivor, on the first incident, 2 or 3, and then dito sa second incident, 2, all of them were examined. Wala namang nangyari sa kanila, no? Kasi ang tanong nga, pag nakalanghap ka ba ng chemical, can it be medically determined? Yes, pag sobra ang nalanghap mo. Pero pag hindi, you cannot really actually determine it. So, laki naman itong 4 na tao na hindi naman, wala naman silang findings sa kanilang mga, walang medical findings that indeed na-damage sila. And second, what we did is that we actually changed already the formula doon sa pang-decontaminate. Ginaya namin yung sa Ultra, which is I think organic, no? Organic siya. So, yun yung ginawang changes ng PNP, and yung preparation mismo ng chemical, even if it's organic, are being supervised by CBRNE, no? Who are actually trained on that. And hopefully, yung aming yung investigation na ikakandak ni General Cascolan would still result to improvement of protocols and procedures in these quarantine areas. Least, ang pinaka-primary naman namin talaga na consideration is the welfare of our personnel.
Sige.
Hindi, ganito, no? On the part of the investigation, I hope NBI, if they will acquire jurisdiction over the case, I hope they would include everything, no? I hope from the service provider, from OCD, hanggang sa PNP, isali nila lahat, no? Because hindi naman sa mag-imbestiga tayo, of course, primarily to find who's responsible. But the second objective also is to improve on our system. No? Although kami, nag-exert na kami ng effort to improve, there might be other things that needs improvement. So this is a continuing process, and hopefully kung ano ang findings ng NBI, as soon as possible na malaman namin kung ano yung mga lapses so that we can also correct it.
Okay. Sir, there's a Viber question coming from Rhea Mamogay, sir, in relation to Dr. Gutierrez's case. May sapat at maganda po ba ang kalidad ng mga PPEs ng mga police frontliners na assigned sa mga quarantine facilities?
Yes naman, no? Again, yung nagpo-provide sa amin ng PPEs are again the OCD. No? So kung ano yung pinoprocure ng OCD, we use it. But ako, ang presumption ko naman palagi is that OCD procures good quality, no? Because there are certain rules and procedures to follow when you procure items for the government.
Okay, sir. Sir, there's a question also, sir, from Rambo of Raptor, sir, sent via Viber. Sir,
A checkpoint. You have to undergo that.
Yes, that has been overemphasized actually by the mayor, no? Na there's no rank here, there's no status in life, which is, I think, applicable to all, no? Kaya nga, sabi ko, it's very difficult for the local government unit, the local government, local chief executives, in trying to protect their flock. So let's help them, no? So if you want to go to their area of jurisdiction, consult with them. What are the things that are needed? And if you're not allowed, by reason of their protocols, then do not insist, no? Because napakahirap on their part na ginagawa nila ito, protection na yung kanilang local government unit, and then may papasok lang na ganun. Kawawa naman sila.
okay. Any other questions? There being none? Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Lunis ulit.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.